Good morning and welcome back to Budapest and to another episode of cafes that are tucked away and you wouldn't know existed if I weren't to show them to you. Today we're going to go to Geraldine, which is run by the Auguszt confectioners. This one's tucked away right behind the National Museum. The reason this place is really cool is because it's located in the former groundskeeper's house, which for many years was in disuse and was really run down and looking terrible. And they renovated it and turned it into this really sweet, bijou, tucked away little cafe. So let's go check it out.
Alright guys, so in the interest of not being totally morally vacuous with my primary and only interest being coffee and cake, which it absolutely is, I need to stop at the entrance of the National Museum to give you some historical tidbits so that we can all feel morally superior that we have learned something today. The National Museum is actually the site of some really important historical events. This is where Petofi Sándor in 1848 traditionally is considered to have kicked off the revolution against the Habsburgs when he read his very rousing call to arms, which is called the National Song. And as you can see in this cute little lithograph, there were a lot of people there. Okay, so now we've got to get to the back of the museum, and if you look at this 1867 map I found, this is where we came in, and this is where we need to get to. So let's do it. So I really like the interior of this place because on the one side there's this modern glass winter garden, which is beautifully sunny and just really cozy. But on the other side, there's a more traditional side, which harkens back to a bygone era of sort of late 19th century, early 20th century. And it's important to know that the family that runs this place is now 5th generation confectioner. So they started in 1870 and they had beautiful interiors and beautiful spaces, which of course were ruined during the Second World War. But they were able to salvage a few objects, and so what you see in here, like this mirror or this clock, are actually pieces that they had originally owned back in their heyday. Okay, so after all of this history, I've worked up an awful hunger, but I can't just start with cake, although as you can see it is incredibly tempting. So I've opted for the quiche, which I have to say, if you don't want to just eat sweet but you actually want to have a meal, light lunch can totally be done here. So I'm going to dive right into the quiche and then I'm going to show you some dessert. Okay, let's dive back into this delicious display of dessert. I love alliteration. And just feast our eyes on all this gorgeous, gorgeous sugar. One of the things I love about this place is that every single cake has a unique flavor and you will not be disappointed whatever you choose. But I just want to show you two really simple, classic kind of cakes, something for everyone. One is this vanilla custard crèmeche, which is kind of like a millefeuille, so it's got flaky pastry and vanilla custard in it. And the other one is the E80, which stands for Elmer 80 and was made for the occasion of the 80th birthday of Elmer August, who is the granddaddy of the current generation running this place. With this much delicious cake in front of you, how do you choose? So crémage is just wonderful in its simplicity. It's flaky pastry with layers of vanilla custard. And each confectioner does it a little differently. So in this case, it's a wibbly custard. In other places, it's a little bit more like creamy mousse. Okay, so this cake was conceived in 1992 for the 80th birthday of the granddaddy of this place. And it was such a hit that even competing bakeries make this cake to this very day. It all starts off with a thin layer of white sponge on the bottom, followed by a layer of chocolate ganache, another layer of marzipan, more chocolate, more white sponge, and then finally topped off with a coffee mousse. And you can see that they've left none of the good stuff out of this because that cocoa is powdery like a ski slope, if ski slopes were made of cocoa. Okay, so I know I promised I would show 2 cakes, but I just want to show you this bonus one because I think it's so unique and delicious. It's called piste, and it's pistachio cream, and it's got almond sponge in it with a tiny layer of like tangy raspberry jam, and you would think that that's a weird combination, but it absolutely works, and it's so decadent, and you have to try it. Ladies and gents, you know the drill. If you're in Budapest, and if you're not, you should be, come check out Geraldine right behind the National Museum, waiting for you with a whole lot of cake. And if you like this video and you'd like more fun facts, tidbits, food and snacks out of Budapest, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another episode of. Thanks for watching.